Next question is from Justin Joseph, who asked for some canonical questions. Once in my parish, the priest celebrated 2 masses, one after the other. Is this allowed? Can a priest celebrate more than 1 mass in one day? Also on All Souls Day, every priest celebrates mass twice in a day. What is the reason for this? Thank you for the question, Justin. I would not encourage anybody to say mass one after the other, in the sense that spiritually it is not very meaningful, but if there's necessity, you have to celebrate. You asked about, let me come to all the Tri-Nation. All Souls Day, because people began offering mass for souls, and to give, there were so many requests for masses, and it was impossible to fulfill them with a limited number of priests, and therefore the Church allowed, the Holy Father allowed all priests to say just 3 masses to be able to fulfill the requests that people did. It was only a practical reason why this was done. Similarly, now because of the greatness of the feast of Christmas, Incarnation, again the priest is allowed to say 3 masses. Because one is the Incarnation, to speak about the Word of God, and the historical fact of Jesus being born in Bethlehem, and again the whole idea of the angels coming to worship. So the feast is so big that it is celebrated in Mass at midnight, Mass at dawn, Mass during the day, and there are 3 liturgies, and every priest is allowed to say 3 masses on Christmas Day. As far as on normal circumstances, priests are allowed to say 2 masses when there is pastoral need, and in mission countries to say even 3 masses when there is pastoral need. This is what the law says, 2 masses for in general, but also 3 masses if there is need in mission countries. And ours is a mission country, and there often is need for, but most places, I think in my own Archdiocese of Bombay, many priests will be saying 2 masses, because we've got many priests. Not every Sunday. If a priest is alone, of course, then he might be saying every Sunday. Generally, they rotate. There are more masses than there are priests, and so they rotate. One Sunday, one priest says 2 masses, and then another Sunday, another priest says. Generally, on weekdays, everybody says only 1 mass. Now, so the priest is allowed to celebrate. I would discourage saying it immediately, but I can see if there's a mass on All Souls Day, and you have mass at 7:30 and 8:15 and 9 o'clock, and there's only one priest, then he has to say mass one after another. It's nicer for him to have a break spiritually, also to be able to pray, prepare himself for the mass, and give a thanksgiving for the mass. Then also continuing your question, does Saturday mass fulfill Sunday obligation mass? Need a clarification whether it's in the morning mass or evening mass after sunset. Yes, in the new Code of Canon Law, mass on the vigil the previous day fulfills the Sunday mass. So previous evening, Saturday evening mass, and in the direction, every bishop was supposed to give a direction of when that evening began. In the Archdiocese of Bombay, Cardinal Pimenta, when he was Archbishop, made the regulation that after 5 o'clock, masses after 5 o'clock, the liturgies of the Sunday, you don't say the Saturday morning mass, and you say Sunday, and it's the Sunday liturgy, the Gloria, the Credo, the homily, and you do fulfill the obligation. This was, and I think at one stage that was the Saturday evening mass was the one most attended by people. At one stage, now it's become even out. When it was started, it was many people attended it, so that you fulfill the obligation, provide the liturgy. Now 5, I wouldn't say. It was a 4:45 because somebody, okay, that's also understood. One should be so legalistic, but the liturgy should be of Sunday. And your final question on this thing, how many times can one receive Holy Communion on a Sunday? If I have received Holy Communion on Sunday morning mass, the wedding mass, or requiem mass, any mass in the evening, do I have to receive it again? As far as the 1917 Code of Canon Law allows for only 1 a day. So just you're a canonist also reading the But we've got a new code in 1983. Now that has said you can receive communion more than once a day. And the reasons you give are certainly okay. Morning you have attended the obligation mass, you go for a wedding mass or a requiem, a funeral mass, you certainly can receive, and it's meaningful because to receive communion is really to consume the Eucharist, to receive the person of Jesus again, completes the sacrifice. I would discourage people who are attending 7 o'clock mass and 8 o'clock mass and receiving communion that way. It's not a question of, that would be not the best spirituality. And the 1917 code had said that, but the 1983 code has allowed communion more than once a day. Let me take